Simo, you're overwhelming favourites for this game, relatively young list. What do you do about making sure that the younger guys don't get ahead of themselves and start thinking about next week?
Oh, look, I don't think we've earned the right to get ahead of ourselves. There's no favourites in prelims. I think we all know that. Finals is completely different, so I'm sure the Kangas aren't thinking that either, so I'm not buying into that, and our players aren't either.
You haven't had to travel for about a month now. Can you gauge how fresh the group is heading into this one?
Oh, look, we enjoyed the week off, no doubt. Yeah, the travel's been good. The fact we haven't had to travel too far, but yeah, the week off was pleasing for our group and gave us a chance to refresh and actually train a little bit more than we normally would. And you know, I know it's been well spoken about. North have rested some players as well, so I think that evens itself out.
In terms of experience this time of year, prelim finals, does that count for anything, do you think?
Oh, I think it does, yeah. There's definitely, we're the new kids on the block, so, you know, and the least experienced team in the prelim, and that does count for something in terms of experience, but I don't think it's going to be to the point where we're going to be overawed.
Your first preliminary finals coach, do you go back to the coaching? What have you been? How are you weaving your way through this new territory?
Just rolling with it, to be honest. It's, I mean, this is what you coach for, it's what you play for, so we're enjoying the ride at the moment, and we haven't changed up too many things for the whole year, so the one thing I won't do is overplay it and make sure our players are in a good mindset and don't get too carried away.
Being this deep in September, was it nice cutting your teeth under Clarko? Obviously had that September experience year in, year out.
Oh, I had a great experience at Hawthorn, yeah, and a really good experience at North Melbourne as a player. You know, I think as a group, 7 prelims in a row, so good experience there and good grounding. And of course, to be at Hawthorn for that period of time, I think we played in 3 when I was there and learned a lot then as well.
Talking to the players, it's what you said, they don't even want to talk about the game really. They don't want to play it in their head before it happens. Is there anything you could have said to them or said to them about relaxing right up until 5:45?
Oh, everyone's different. You can't not think about playing in a big game. But having a weekend off, we made sure we didn't over-prepare last week and treated this week pretty normal in terms of the opposition and how we go about it. So I'm not overthinking that. It feels like we're overplaying that a bit now about what we're doing to prepare. We'll be just as prepared as we were last week.
Would they watch the other game though, do you think? Would the players watch the Dockers game tonight?
Tonight?
Yeah.
Oh, if they normally watch footy, they can. I wouldn't be telling our players to watch tonight, as I didn't tell them to watch the game last week. It's yeah, try and be as normal as you can.
You're one of the best contested footy sides in the comp. That's been the backbone of North's 2 finals victories. How important is the inside work tomorrow night?
Well, I think when you get to these types of games, the contested ball is critical, and you can't just become good at it in 1 week. So we've been pretty consistent all year, and I think North have as well. So you try and ask me another question. Sorry, let me finish.
Sorry.
Yeah, right.
Okay, oh, who do you expect Jacobs to go to?
I'm not totally sure, but you would have thought we've got a couple of guys in pretty good form. So, you know, Chewy or Pritis or one of those guys. So once again, they've been tagged at stages throughout the year as well. So we'll take that when it comes.
Is Chewy's foot all good, Simo?
Yeah, trained really well. Yeah, he's all good.
Are you nervous, Adam?
Oh, I think, of course, you're a little bit nervous. I'm nervous every week, so nothing really changes in terms of my preparation. But I think it's less about my nerves.
Sim, are you surprised that Nick Nat didn't get the All-Australian?
Oh, a little bit, yeah, but not overly surprised the way sometimes it operates over in the east. So maybe he might win the Brownlow and get in next year.
Are those things an extra motivation, like the players sort of thing, mate, you in our mind are the number one? Does that play any factor at all?
No, not at all. I think, no. The All-Australian's great to get, but I don't think we play footy for those.
So how tough was it not to select Scott Selwood, who's been part of the leadership group and been at the club for a long time and obviously good enough to be in a team of sorts?
Yeah, he is, and it's just probably left his run a little bit too late with his injury and how he's coped with that and responded and got back into the side. With Pritis and Maston coming in, we felt that the runs were on the board with those guys, and you know, really unlucky.
So where will you watch tonight's game?
Oh, I'll go along. Yeah, have a look. Yep.
And yesterday, having a bit of look at the Hawks, was that just sort of planning
No.
your professionalism coming out? Or?
No, this is where I work, so if there's a team training, I'll go watch them if I'm allowed to. So it was an open session and I'm not preempting anything. I was here, so I went upstairs and watched them train.
Are you surprised that North's brought over 26 players?
No, not at all. When there's no reserves game to be played, you got to be prepared. So I'm not surprised at all.
Can you give us a rundown on what Jamie Cripps does for the team in his role at West Coast?
Oh, he's an important player for us. Yeah, he's providing really good pressure. I think he's probably number one in the comp with forward half pressure. But he also contributes with the ball and helps out deep and forward and high and wherever we need him. So he's really evolved. We're really happy with how his season's progressed, and he's in a good space.
So, as a relative player, which you've played against and coached at two clubs now, how proud of you of his resilience? I think he's playing his 14th game in a row tonight, which looks unlikely at this stage. Yeah,
I mean, some people think 14 games in a row is probably not that big a deal, but he's managed his body really well. It's something he's had to do his whole career, so we'll use his experience in finals as well as Butler and Wellingham, some of the guys who've been around a while. And, of course, a lot of our players played in 11 and 12 as well, so there's a little bit to draw on there.
In terms of experience, is there anything you can say to the players that perhaps will help them, similar to the last time you met when Boomer sucked in the umpires for that 50 metre, that sort of thing? Is there a chance there that their experience in that sort of area might be a factor for them?
Look, like I said earlier, they're the most experienced side in the top four, so they're and they were there last year, and they've got some lessons I'm sure they learnt from that game. So we can't worry too much about that. We just got to get on with what we do, and I'm not too worried about drawing in umpires' decisions and things like that.
Is he crucial though, Boomer, to them? He's a very important player, obviously.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, his finals series has been exceptional. I'm not surprised at all. So he's definitely a player that can win a game off his own boot. But he also, what we're seeing more and more of now is how he contributes to the side, and that's always something that's undervalued with Boomer.
Eric McKenzie's been out on the track. What's he been bringing to the squad? And
yeah, numbers.
Do you use those guys who miss out as motivation a little?
Not really. No, it's just good to have him on the track, and Brown's training as well. So it's been a long journey for those guys, and just to have them out on the track and be involved with the squad. I think we had 40 odd train with us on Wednesday, which is really good because we've been light on numbers for a lot of the year, and to get some numbers back, even just to train, has been good for the club.
Did Eric ever think that he could get back this season?
I don't think so. No.
How short do you reckon he would be? How many weeks? If he had a couple more weeks on the track?
It wasn't even brought up in conversation, so I'm assuming months.
Spent more time on Kangaroos midfield or their forward line? Their forward line's been dangerous, especially weight in recent weeks.
Yeah, well, it's probably the collective. I mean, their back line's been really solid as well. The last 4 or 5 weeks, they've been number 1 or 2 in most areas, in scoring and defending. And, of course, their contested ball, I think it was plus 50 over the 2 finals games. So they've become a really rounded side, and it hasn't happened overnight. And we're fully aware of their strengths, and it's across the board, really. And that's what you expect in a prelim.
Question without notice. I notice you've got the university sponsorship on the collar. Someone was telling me, are you back studying at university?
No, not at the moment. Haven't quite got the time, but no, it's good we've got a new sponsor on board, and happy that they've joined us.
Are you looking at something? Would you study something? Have you got time to preoccupy yourself to sort of get thinking about other things other than just football all the time?
Oh, well, I know where to go if I need to. But no, not at the moment. I've got some other things on at the moment. So.
What would be the chances? Sorry, Barry. What are the chances in your first crack at it as a coach that you'd have Melbourne and potentially Hawthorn as the 2 teams in front of you to win a flag?
It's a pretty small industry, to be honest. I think there's a lot of coaches and players will bounce from club to club. So I'm not. You know someone at every club, so it's not. I don't think that's really part of the romance of it all. It's there's no real thought about that.
The players say that you're a really relaxed coach and have been all year. Will that be easy to maintain tonight with such a big stage?
Oh, you just got to be yourself, and players see through it really easily when you're trying to be someone you're not. And I think it'd be a disservice to the whole club if I acted differently because it's a bigger game. And I'm sure we'll all learn from this week and this campaign, but I'm not going to change.
Is there a chance on Subi that 3 North Melbourne tools could be a bit of a punt, could be a bit of a risk for North Melbourne, having the 3 big fellas?
I wouldn't have thought so. No, they've been doing it all year and playing really good football. So I'm I don't think they're intimidated by the ground. Hopefully we get a big crowd there and make a lot of noise, but North have played here plenty of times. Even as a player back in the day, we used to play here 2 or 3 times a year. So, yeah, I'm sure they're not worried about that.
You'd be trying to expose them though, wouldn't you, for run and that sort of thing, the big guys?
Well, it's always a battle with how we play and our brand and how the opposition plays, and every team has strengths, and not necessarily trying to expose their weaknesses, but identifying their strengths and playing our way is what we're looking to do. And I think they'll do the same with us.